This is the commander of the Good Yacht Discoverer speaking, and we've just had a traumatic return to the Argentine Islands, where we found every entrance of the place full of ice. But our good friends here on Blizzard have helped us immeasurably to come alongside in a tricky place. We are in their debt. Thank you.
Colonel Andy Mills of the British Army and Captain of Discoverer. Now that is a mismatch of job titles if I've ever heard any.
Well, okay, man, I've got a day job back in the UK, sadly. So I'm only asked occasionally to come and skipper yachts for the Army. But it's always a great treat. And as you can see, we're having a wonderful time at a wonderful place with a very good crew.
Now, what is the Army doing on board a yacht?
Well, we have this great scheme called adventure training, which is there really to encourage leadership and good strong characteristics in junior soldiers, and it's the closest we can get to operations but in a peacetime environment. So these include adventures such as sailing, ocean racing, mountaineering, ski touring, that sort of thing, and it's there to develop the skills that any army really looks for, but we managed to push it to extremes, and an awful lot of our soldiers, sailors, airmen enjoy these sort of trips. So that's what we're doing here now. I've got 16 on board, which is really 7 sailors and 9 mountaineers. We're effectively a floating base camp. We've got 9 mountaineers ashore climbing various summits and carrying out some scientific work around Antarctica, while the rest of us sail around, do what adventurous sailing we can without getting too far away from the mountaineers, just in case they need some help.
And of course enjoying the hospitality of the good Ukrainians here at the base.
This is the great thing about Antarctica. It's not as remote as some people think. There are a number of fantastic bases around the place where staff are generally incredibly helpful, particularly our good friends the Ukrainians here at Vernadsky, who have looked after us and we've had a great time together, and it's been a home from home. They're great guys. Many thanks to the Ukrainians.
Now, of course, this yacht is very well appointed for the things that you need to be doing, and that is extreme training for your troops. What sort of things have you found that is particularly good with this yacht to make it easy for the crew?
Well, she was built in '92 by Che Blythe for his British Steel Challenge racing. So she's a good, strong steel yacht, meant to race the wrong way around the world, upwind. She's strong. She's largely, touch wood, soldier-proof, although they do tend to break the electrics when I'm not looking. And it involves a full crew. So we've got 16 on board, ideally 14. We've only 14 bunks, but it's all manual, hard work. All the winches need a lot of grunt to get things working. It's slow, heavy stuff, but great for involving those sort of people and encouraging junior leaders, the watch leaders, to take their role and look after their responsibilities and get the thing working together in one joined-up direction.
Now, probably one thing I have noticed about this vessel is that the galley is aft of the companionway, and all of a sudden you've got a chef who's reasonably happy, I'm assuming. He's not getting his food thrown out of the pots and pans and all over the kitchen.
That's true. The galley is really good. It's down under where we're standing right now, and it's separated with a long sort of wooden passageway, so that the chef of the day can get wedged in there and do his stuff, her stuff, and crack on. No, very happy, very snug. My one trouble is that if you're down below sitting around that galley table, it's so comfortable, you don't really know what's going on deck. So you can be down there playing chess or eating your canapes, and up on deck there's a bloody hurricane going. It's always a shock coming back up.
Now, we noticed that up in the forepeak there, your storage area, you have a massive amount of equipment up there, and obviously less because you've got 9 mountaineers on a mountain. We also noticed that you've got some really good mooring line.
Yes, we do have some amazing mooring line, and I'm watching you like a hawk to make sure neither you nor the cameraman make off with them. Because we're Crown sponsored, this is Royal Naval mooring line. It's black, it's Dyneema, made of carbon fibre, it's strong as old boots, it floats, it's everything you want from a mooring line. And just as we left the Falklands, we saw one of the frigates putting itself, its entire weight and engines, on one mooring line as a spring of the same diameter we've got and springing off the jetty. So it's phenomenally strong, and we love it.
Thank you very much for your time. You obviously want to slip the mooring lines and head off.
To head down south. But Kevin, thanks very much, and good luck to you and the rest of your trip, plus all your viewers. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks. Goodbye.
What a view. We've climbed up the top of this little hill here, and the view is just absolutely expansive. Now I fully appreciate this environment. Icebergs out in the channels, mountains
glaciers behind me, and small little coves and bays, rocks with moss on them. Doesn't get any better.
I have to thank the good people in Blizzard for helping us arrive here as well at the end of a traumatic day dealing with strong winds, Antarctic awfulness, and beautiful scenery. It's been a delight.
Marianne, you play a beautiful piano.
Oh, thank you.
Now, are you a professional piano player?
I would say I'm a teacher. I've taught piano 30 years, but it's very difficult to earn your living as a pianist unless you're Murray Pariah or someone like that.
Well, that piece was absolutely amazing. Not being a musician at all. This is the first time I've seen a piano on the water.
There's supposedly, well, that wouldn't be on the water. I heard that at McMurdo Station they have a grand piano, which is the one of the U.S. bases here. But that, because until then I thought my piano was likely the only piano in Antarctica. But
well, I'm tipping it's the only piano that I've ever seen where a four-peak or indeed a yacht has been designed around the piano.
That's probably true. I know that even in the 50s when we went to England from Canada on a ship, it had a grand piano bolted to the floor. So they've been on pianos for a long time, but not in yachts.
Now, you were saying that the designer of this yacht normally has everything on the other side. For example, the galley's on the other side, the nav station's on the other side, and yet you've had it designed so that the acoustics of the piano work well for your guests.
That's right. The treble's on the right hand. It's not even, I don't think of, I mean, I do think of my guests, of course, but I look forward to meeting violinists or singers who want to sing or play the violin, and I'll accompany them. And so they're accustomed to hearing the treble, which is the melodic side of the piano nearest to them when they're playing. And so pianos are normally oriented this way towards soloists. I haven't really met many, especially not in Antarctica.
Well, it is absolutely amazing. The craftsmanship that has gone in to be able to place the piano in there is simply amazing.
Yeah, a lot of thought went into that. Every other aspect of the boat was, of course, designed beforehand, and it is a custom-built yacht, so there's no other boat like this.
Just one question. Can I have a go of your piano?
Okay, go ahead. Do we turn the volume down? Okay, now put the left hand in.
I never learnt the left hand. If you want a life-changing experience and want to get down to Antarctica, go to the onthewater.com.au website and follow the links to Blizzard Expeditions. I'd like to thank David Price and Hannah McKeon from aboard the Blizzard. It is one hell of an expedition. Well, that's the end of On the Water for another week. And remember, whether you're drinking vodka with the Ukrainians, you're chatting to a colonel who's a captain, or you're playing piano in the bow of a boat, remember, a bad day on the water is better than a good day at work. See you next week.